Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So the flat is back. We start off tomorrow with the Lincoln, the Brocklesby, and then we even have like a 1,000 guineas trial, Irish 1,000 guineas trial on Sunday. So we dive straight into the flat racing. There's one jump race that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in the video. But we'll start off with tomorrow, and I will show the ratings for the first race, and then after that obviously I can't show the ratings because they're for premium members only. So the first race I'm going to do a very quick talk about is the Brocklesby, the 5 furlong newcomer race. So it's very difficult to find the winner of this. I hope Go to Work wins it, the David Evans horse who's RTR2. That would be my selection, but it's really open. I mean, this is for anybody to, you generally find that those at the head of the market are the right ones because they've been working well at home. So let's move on to the actual races and go through who we like. So we will start off with the Spring Mile. Now this is generally for horses that didn't quite make the cut for the Lincoln, and there was a horse in this that I was really looking forward to seeing in the Lincoln. I thought he could run a big race. He hasn't got in. He's got in the Spring Mile, but I fully expect him to go very, very close here. And that's Isla Kai. If you've been following my videos last season, I'm a big fan of Isla Kai. I just think he needs to be ridden slightly more conservatively. They did try stepping him up to a mile and 2 runs ago. It didn't work. Dropped him back to 7 furlongs or nearly a mile at York, where he ran much better, finishing 3rd. The winner, Substantial, looked very progressive, and the runner-up was the ever-consistent Empire State of Mind. Isla Kai was given a better ride that time, just behind the leaders, and that's what he needs to do here. This obviously is a much easier race than what he's normally been running in. 3 runs ago, for example, they were rated, it was a Heritage handicap rated 105 to 95. Well, he's running tomorrow here off 92, with all horses lower rated than him. This is an easier race, so even if he does go forward, he shouldn't be pestered as much at the front. He probably has enough ability to even make all the running. I'd like to see him dropped in, sit 2nd or 3rd, and if he does, I think he'll go very, very close here. He's not ideally drawn in stall 1, but hopefully he'll switch across, get in behind just a couple, and run a really big race here. I mean, it wasn't that long ago he was running 6th in a Hunt Cup off a mark of 100. I mean, a reproduction of that here over this mile trip, and he should win this. Yeah, there's a few unexposed horses like Baltimore Boy and the Gatekeeper, but they've got to prove it yet. I think Isla Kai has already proven it. It just didn't quite work. Didn't quite work last season. Hopefully this season, with a slightly more conservative rides, just sit 2nd or 3rd, and I think they'll be able to win a couple of races off 92 and then 96, 97, wherever he goes up to. So that would be my selection in the Spring Mile. It's Isla Kai, who is now just gone favourite. Baltimore Boy was favourite. He's now favourite. Isla Kai, fully expecting to go very, very close here. 7s is fair. Moving on to the 3 o'clock, the Cammidge Trophy, and it's a race featuring a couple of useless horses. No disrespect to them, useless in terms of the ability compared to the rivals here. I mean, Temple Bruer is rated 80, whereas El Caballo is rated 112. Off these weights and off these marks, Temple Bruer should finish a long way last. But who do I like in this race? Well, it's King's Lynn. This trip is what he needs, 6 furlongs. So let's have a look at his last 3 6 furlong races. He finished 10th in a Group 1. He finished 14th in a Group 1. He won a listed. So that's the big thing with King's Lynn. He needs 6 furlongs, but he doesn't want to be running in Group 1s. He's not good enough for Group 1s, but he's plenty good enough for listed events. He's actually won here twice, including that run that I just mentioned, which he won, a listed race over 6. He's also won the lucrative 2-year-old stakes, the 300,000 2-year-old stakes back in 2019. He also won that. He's also finished 2nd at Doncaster to Starman, obviously the Group 1, subsequent Group 1 winner, Starman. You know, it's good form at Doncaster. It's good form over 6 furlongs. And it's good form in this grade. That's what I think he needs. 6 furlongs this grade, and I think he can go really close. Also, last time out, the time he won over course and distance, that came on soft ground. This is soft ground again. You know, there's plenty of positives. It's all about whether there's a Group 1 or Group 2 horse hiding in this race. I say hiding, obviously El Caballo could be, but he was very disappointing last time, and now does have to prove that he can continue as a 4-year-old. Obviously, a lot of his good efforts last season were coming in 3-year-old only races. Now against older horses, this is when we'll find out whether El Caballo is really that good. But I think, for me, King's Lynn is the bet in this race at 13-2. Moving on to the 3:15 at Kempton. Now this is an interesting one, and I'm actually going to go for the outsider of the field here in Sleeping Lion. The reason I like Sleeping Lion, I think he's overpriced based on his rivals. Let me explain what I mean by that. So Bandinelli is the 4-1 second favourite, which I think is about right. But Sleeping Lion is 10s and 11s. Well, if we go back a few runs, Sleeping Lion finished second to Bandinelli, beaten just 3/4 of a length. On that day, Sleeping Lion was giving Bandinelli £15. Tomorrow, he'll give him just £2. He was giving him the 3-year-old allowance, plus he was lower rated Bandinelli at the time. Bandinelli came out after winning that and won again, beating Orpheus in this race last year, the Queen's Prize. So I think on the odds, Sleeping Lion should be a lot shorter. I know he was a little bit disappointing last time out. Sleeping Lion is too big a price compared to Bandinelli for sure. If I've just seemed to have got lost there, I had to just quickly pause the video to answer a question. So yes, Sleeping Lion was disappointing last time when he was 6th out of 8 in an all-weather qualifier. Now he was having his first run for 299 days then, which, you know, I'm sure wasn't ideal for him, and he hadn't had the run. He has now had a fitness run. The last time he actually won was an all-weather qualifier. He in February 2022 after a 51-day break. Now interestingly, when he runs tomorrow, he'll have had a 52-day break. So I think that, you know, this is perfect for him in terms of the time off. He's had the run, he's got his fitness, and yeah, on the actual market, he's a better price compared to Bandinelli. Okay, Aztec Empire could be very well handicapped and unexposed, but they kind of went slowly that day, and he managed to nip up the inside and be able to, you know, kick away from the rest. The rest weren't good enough to run down Withhold, the old Withhold, who had been running really poorly. I mean, yeah, he'd finished 3rd at Wolverhampton in a moderate race. I don't know how strong even last time that race was. And going back through Withhold's form, he was certainly out of form and had lost his way significantly. So I'm quite keen to take a chance here on Sleeping Lion at 11s. The final one for tomorrow is, I've got 2 in the Lincoln that I like, and they are, the first one is Migration. Now, I'm a big fan of Migration. I think he is down to a mark that he can win off, and he's running in a handicap over a mile, which I think is very key to him. They've been trying him over different trips, but if we just look at his mile form, he was 8th in a Balmoral handicap, beaten 5.5 lengths, went off 15-2 off 109. Go back and watch that race. He got no run whatsoever. He dived up the inside or over to the far rail, and then got squeezed out again. And he's finished a never nearer 8th. If he'd got a run, he would have gone a lot closer. That was off a mark of 109. He's going to run here off 107, and Benoit takes another 3 off, so he's effectively running off 104. If we go back to his previous race over a mile, before that one in the Balmoral. He was second at Newbury, being beaten by Modern News by a neck. Again, if it had been over 1 mile and 10 yards, I think he would have beaten Modern News. He was closing all the way to the line. Modern News, after winning that race at Newbury, went to Windsor and won a listed race, finished second in a Group 3, finished second in a listed race, finished third in a listed race, second in a Group 3, sixth in a Group 2, and then second recently in a listed race at Meydan. Beaten by Danya, and obviously Danya went on to win the Group 1 sprint a few weeks later. It was really good form finishing second to Modern News, and that came off a mark of 106. With Benoit taking the 3 off, as I said, the 104, he is effectively running off 100 and... taking 3 off his 107 mark, he's effectively running off 104. That gives him an excellent chance in this race. Benoit obviously won this race 2 years ago. I think he's only had that one ride in this race. He won it. He's back again this year. Yeah, I'm really keen on Migration in the Lincoln. And you can currently get Migration at 14s and 16s. 16s at William Hill, 14s everywhere else. There is 18s, but I don't know where that is. SBK. Don't know what that is. So yeah, that's the first one I like. The second horse that I'm interested in is Empire State of Mind, who I think enjoys this soft ground. He was very progressive, and was he a bit unlucky last year? Just kept bumping into a few horses. He finished second at Doncaster 2 runs ago, beaten by Atrium in front of Arthur's Realm. Arthur's Realm had previously won a Spring Mile, so had liked Doncaster. And Empire State of Mind kicked for home probably a bit too early there, and just got run down late on. Similarly at York, he went clear, only Substantial was able to run him down. Isla K back in third, and quite comfortably beaten that day. Isla K was 4 lengths further back in third. It was a really good effort from Empire State of Mind. Taylor Fisher takes off some useful weight here. His runs, like last season when he was second last time out, off 95. He would run here off 99, but Taylor takes another 5 off, so he's back down to 94. And I think Taylor's 5 are a nice 5. He rides better than a £5 claimer. So off 94, a pound lower than when he was effectively second last time out. Yeah, I think he's got a great chance. Drawn in stall 11 is perfect. All the horses can congregate in front of him, and they can wait as long as possible. He's likely to travel really strongly. It's then whether he can hang on late on when asked for his effort from Taylor. So in the Lincoln, I like both 2 horses being ridden by claimers. I think they've both been cleverly booked. Migration, who is 14s and 16s, and Empire State of Mind, who is 16s and 18s. They are my 2 in the Lincoln. So just a quick recap of those for tomorrow. I like Isla K or Isla Kai in the Spring Mile. King's Lynn in the listed race. This is his level. Sleeping Lion shouldn't be the outsider. And the 2 in the Lincoln are Empire State of Mind and, who did I say, Migration. I'm probably more keen on Migration, to be honest. I just want to also quickly talk about 3 on Sunday. The first one runs in the Leopardstown 1000 Guineas trial. Big fan of Madly Truly. Her form, I think, is very, very strong. She was winning a maiden on her second start, and when she won that maiden, she beat in 4th Lumiere Rock, who has since won a Group 3. She beat Sybil Charm, who hasn't run since, and she beat Highly Desirable. Highly Desirable stepped up to a listed race after that, and finished third, beaten only 2 3/4 lengths. So the form was strong. I think Madly Truly won that quite nicely. Although it was all out to win, I think there was more to come from her for sure. And yeah, Joseph O'Brien sends her to the 1000 Guineas trial. I think they know they've got a good horse in Madly Truly. The next I want to talk about is at Doncaster. Now this is an interesting one. I'd be interested to see the price on this. And it's in a low level handicap. It's over 5 furlongs. It's a class 5 handicap. And the horse that catches my eye here is good old Stone of Destiny for Mick Appleby. Now, Since moving to Mick Appleby, he's done nothing. He's run moderate races, 6th, 2nd, 6th, 6th, 5th, 6th, 4th, all on the all-weather. Let's have a look at his last run on turf. He was 4th, not beaten far, off 83. He runs here off 75. It's an easier race. That race was an apprentice race of class 4. He's down to a class 5. Yeah, I think this is the race for him. I think if they go fast enough at the front, he can get covered up and beat what are very moderate horses off a low handicap mark on the flat. So he's interesting for Sunday. And the final one for Sunday is, if you've been following my videos, you'll know who it is. It's 50 Ball. Where is he? Here he is, 50 Ball. He ran okay in the Martin Pipe at the Cheltenham Festival. Probably a bit too classy for him. The race before that, when he came to Ascot, he went forward. He doesn't want to go forward. He wants to be covered up. But if we look at his racing when he's been a more suitable grade, and over this trip, and in when not being asked to go forward, well, the last time he did that, it was 4 runs ago. He won. It wasn't the biggest of fields. It was only 4 runners, but he went off the 6-5 favourite off a mark of 127 with a £3 claimer. Well, Niall claims the 3 again, and he's running off 123. So he's actually £4 lower than when winning just 4 runs ago over course and distance. So he would be the one that I'm quite keen on for the Ascot race, final race at Ascot. So there's 3 more for Sunday, as I said. I'd be looking at their prices. They are Truly Madly in the 1,000 Guineas trial. They are Stone of Destiny in the 5 furlong race at Doncaster. And the 2 mile 5 handicap hurdle, 50 Ball. So thanks for listening. Hopefully we've got a few winners there, and have a great weekend.